All right, boys and girls, it's Chris with Committed 3D Tech, and it's story time. Because at the beginning of November, my most viewed video, my first viral video, got taken down by YouTube. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna explain the story of what happened, and with the story, I'm gonna give you the very surprising end result that happened, which was actually very favorable for me and my YouTube account. And then I'm gonna give you 4 tips on how to deal with strikes and the YouTube community guidelines. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash the like button for me, and let's get to it. So for those of you who watched my channel, you know that at the end of October, I made a random video on how you could get not only a free Google Home Mini for signing up for Spotify Premium, but you can also get Spotify Premium completely free just by signing up for the Crypto.com MCO Visa. And I didn't make the video too elaborate. I was really just excited about getting it for myself. And I made a quick 4-minute video on how you can do the same thing that I did. I was really excited about it, and I wasn't expecting to get too much viewership, but guess what? It was one of my most popular videos. Within the first 7 days, it got over 15,000 views, which for a new YouTuber who has just monetized, that's a really exciting thing. So I was on cloud 9, I was super excited about it, and things were going great. However, on November 10th of 2019, I woke up in the morning to an email, and this is what that email said.
Dear Committed 3D Tech, we have received a circumvention of technological measures complaint regarding the following video: how to get a free Google Home Mini and Spotify Premium. Limited time offer. Upon our analysis of the claim, we have removed the content in question. Sincerely, the YouTube team.
So, needless to say, I tried to figure out what was going on. I had to figure out what circumvention of technological measures meant, because that was a complete foreign language to me. I had no idea, and so I did some research, and naturally I reached out to YouTube support to figure out what was going on. My initial thought was, I had posted a negative review of a platform called Cloud Token, and I actually thought that maybe one of those viewers who was upset about that went on and did a CTM claim against my video. I thought that was extreme, and if it was that, then really YouTube would step up and do the right thing and reinstate my video fairly quickly. I quickly learned after reading about circumvention of technological measures that it was unlikely that was actually what happened, that it was most likely either YouTube, Google, or Spotify that actually did the CTM claim against my video. So then once I started to read a little bit more about CTM, which means circumvention of technological measures, basically what that means, the Reader's Digest version, is you made a video about how you can cheat the system or basically work around the policies in an illegal way to either get something for free or something that shows private information about a software. So with that, my response to YouTube was simply, all I did was basically get Spotify Premium for free in the same way that anyone who uses credit card points would do. Basically with Crypto.com, you sign up for the Ruby Red MCO Visa, and you purchase Spotify Premium with your Ruby Red Visa card. In return, they reward you back with credit card points in MCO tokens, which is a cryptocurrency. Same exact way you would go and spend money on a credit card at Best Buy or Walmart or any big store, and they give you back points or cash back or anything like that. It's the exact same thing. And so that's what I explained to the YouTube support, and this was their response.
Hi Chris, thank you for reaching out. It's really important to clarify some information, most especially when it comes to YouTube's policy. Being aware of the guidelines will help you more on preventing any mistakes and continue sharing your creative works. I'm here to help you out and provide some insights. Our community guidelines outline what is not allowed on YouTube. Following these guidelines helps to keep YouTube a place where our community can thrive. I hope I was able to enlighten you. All the best.
Okay. So being aware of YouTube's policies to help me more on preventing mistakes in the future. Well, let's go and look at the community guidelines. Okay, so when looking at my video, was there any nudity or sexual content, harmful or dangerous content, hateful content, violent or graphic content, harassment and cyberbullying, spam, misleading metadata and scams, threats, copyright, privacy, impersonation, child safety, or additional policies? Let's actually just click on that and look at it. Vulgar language, inactive accounts policy, encouraging terms of service violations, and age requirements on Google products. After viewing all of that, once again, I said to myself, okay, none of that was in violation. Like I said, this was a promotion that Spotify offered to get a free Google Home Mini. I am purchasing Spotify Premium and utilizing credit card rewards in order to get it for free. And I outlined that very clearly in the video, so there was no violation at all. Once again, I replied back to YouTube support saying that I filed an appeal. I gave my argument. I emailed support because they only let you write 200 characters for your argument, which isn't very much, especially in a very complicated situation like this. Either way, I explained to them that the circumvention of technological measures doesn't really apply in this because it is the exact same thing as if you were to use credit card rewards points, which was exactly what I was doing, and giving that information to my viewers to be able to do the same thing. A couple days later after that, they were kind enough to get back to me and say, hey, we're still investigating the measures and we're trying to figure out if it's within the scope or not. So I appreciated that they at least kept me up to date, which was very nice. I thought that was very professional. The next day, they sent me an email that said this.
Thank you for your patience. I know this has taken much of your time waiting for a resolution. I did my best to provide you the most specific information that I can and based from our internal team. Policy is applied correctly on the said video and we are unable to reinstate it in any means. You can always refer to this link for more information and better understanding of the issue. Sorry I don't have a better news. Thank you for understanding. All the best.
So basically, all you're telling me is that I can review the community guidelines that I've already reviewed to stop from any further strikes in the future. And then they sent me this link. Now, as you can see, this page that they sent me has to do with abusing the ad network. Advertisements are those little videos that play in between your watches on YouTube. I didn't send this out as an ad at all. It was simply just a content creation on my YouTube channel. So this is where the gears in my head started turning. Maybe, just maybe, the fact that I was making a video showing how people could get Spotify Premium for free violated Google's agreement with Spotify. In a nutshell, I emailed them back and said, hey, I just want to double check. The link you sent me had nothing to do with circumvention of technological measures, and so I wanted to make sure. Also, I need some more information because as a content creator, you're basically telling me I violated something that I have no specifics on. I have no idea what I violated, how I violated it, and how I can avoid violating it in the future. And especially with all the hype going on about the new guidelines, COPPA, the FTC, and all of the things that are worrying YouTube content creators, this was a big red flag for me. I was really worried about it. At this point, I had just monetized. So I was wondering, well, is this even going to be a viable option for me in the future? Because if they're going to take down my most successful videos and not tell me how I violated anything after I review the community guidelines very in depth, there's not much I can do. I can't rely on YouTube as a source of income if they're going to tag me for those types of things. Unfortunately, this is all that they replied with.
Hi Chris, I understand your concern about the actions taken against your video, thus the want to speak to someone higher. On our previous interaction, I've mentioned that this will be forwarded to our internal team for further review. Though we may not be able to provide specifics of the result of our review, rest assured that our actions are the result of careful investigation by our team of dedicated specialists. I can imagine that you might be disappointed with our decision, but I'm afraid this decision is final. Thank you for your understanding. All the best.
So, what did I do? I decided to bite my tongue and just take it and let it be. Now here's where something really interesting happened. I went onto YouTube and guess what? I saw that my video was reinstated. Now they didn't email me about it, they didn't say anything about it, but what had happened? The offer to get the free Google Home Mini was over. November 15th, the offer was finished. So 2 days later, my video pops back up. Now, of course, I didn't email them about this because I didn't want to bring any more attention to the video in case they wanted to take it down again. Maybe it was a mistake. I don't know. Maybe this video is going to make them look back and take it down again. I'm not sure. But either way, I thought it made for a really interesting story. And this also kind of validated my last assumption that my video actually violated Google's agreement with Spotify, which means I didn't do anything wrong. This was simply Google and YouTube failing to inform me of an agreement that they had already made with Spotify. Either way, I was grateful that I was able to post the video, that it went as viral as it did, and the fact that they reinstated it after the deal was done. So I missed about 7 days of views, which isn't a huge deal. I'm just grateful that it's back up. Let's talk about tips for you if you get a warning or a strike. First off, I want to give a background on YouTube's strike policy. So basically, if you wake up one day, you get an email and one of your videos has been removed, the first time that's going to be a warning, which is basically saying, hey, YouTube flagged one of your videos. They'll tell you the reason why they flagged one of your videos. You can submit an appeal as well. This doesn't affect your account in any way. It just simply means that that video is going to be down and you won't be collecting any views or money based on that video. Now, of course, the way it works is 3 strikes and you're out. The first strike, it'll obviously take your video down and then it will remove some of the features of your YouTube account. So for 1 week, you won't be able to do things like live streams. You won't be able to create custom thumbnails or community posts. You won't be able to edit or add to playlists. And you won't be able to add or remove playlists from the watch page using the save button. So of course, your privileges will be restored after that 1 week, and that strike will remain on your account for 90 days. The second strike, similar to that, except it'll be 2 weeks of a probationary period instead of just the 1 week. And of course, 3 strikes within that 90-day period, and your account is subject to termination. Your whole YouTube account will be removed. It will be gone. You can submit an appeal, but guess what? Sometimes they might say no. And of course, this is really interesting because YouTube just had a big controversy with the emote completely removing some people's Google accounts. So basically, some YouTube channels would have people vote with emojis. And if they spammed too many emotes, then that would flag their account and Google would delete their entire account. It didn't matter if it was a business account or just a pleasure account, it was removed completely. Now, YouTube has fixed that. Fortunately, it did take a few weeks, but that was fixed, which is great. It's kind of remarkable that this was a worry. So let's talk about the tips on how to deal with a warning or a strike when they come to your YouTube channel. Tip number 1 is to smash that like button if you haven't already. Tip number 1 is to avoid them. The easiest way to do this is to go through the community guidelines and the strike policies pretty in depth. It's just good to know in advance before you actually post a video. This includes things like if you're using fair use of other people's content or videos, you're not always gonna get this perfect. Copyright is probably the most common flag that you'll get on your account. So the best thing to do is to just avoid them completely. Number 2 is to just relax. freaking out about it and completely spamming the support email isn't going to do anything. Be professional, be calm, cool, and collected, analyze everything that is going on, and try to be concise in your communications with YouTube support and understanding your rights and also the policies behind why they did what they did. Which leads to tip number 3, which is to reach out to support. So after you've done a preliminary investigation based on what they emailed you, so if they tell you, hey, you had a copyright strike, whatever it is, you can go and watch the video, review the content, because YouTube allows you to do that. The video isn't public during this appeal time, but it's open to you to go and review the content so that you can investigate and say, oh, well, yeah, okay, I did do a copyright infringement. Or, well, no, that was fair use and this is the reason why. Additionally, this is really important because if someone does something like puts a bunch of strikes on your account out of malice, or it's kind of like they're holding your account hostage. So they say, pay me money and I will remove the strikes from your account. So you can send those types of things over to YouTube support, and that will be able to help YouTube clear it up a lot quicker. Once again, it's extremely important to be professional, clear, concise, and calm about the whole situation. Because when you put pressure on them and you're angry, that can also be subject to having your account removed if you show any malice or hate towards YouTube. You need to be professional, you need to be courteous and kind. They're just doing their job, so you can do your job as well. And just be kind when you do this. Be patient, be persistent, and usually things will work out for the best. Which leads to tip number 4. Let's say you go through all of this, you've presented your argument, and your video stays down. In my situation, I chose not to cry over spilt milk. By the time they took my video down, I had over 23,000 views. I had made a decent amount of ad revenue from it. It was successful. I was able to help people to get this amazing deal and get a free Google Home Mini, which was the reason I made the video in the first place. So I decided not to cry over spilt milk. And I think that's a valuable lesson. The warning remains on your account forever, but even if I were to get a strike in the future, that would only be on there for 90 days. Plus, this was a valuable lesson for me to learn, hey, I really need to watch out what I'm putting in my content and what content I'm actually creating to put out there rather than just trying to do whatever the heck I want to do. It's good to keep yourself in check and have balances and make sure that you're abiding by the rules and the policies that YouTube has out there. Because if your channel gets really big and you accidentally overlook one of these things, you could actually drop out a ton of revenue or even get your account completely removed, stopping all revenue and your entire content creation process. Well, hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video. Those are my tips on how to deal with YouTube warning and strikes. And I hope you enjoyed the story. I thought it was actually pretty cool, and I'm pretty flattered that I got to not only go through this experience, but that I'm able to share it with you. And I hope it benefits you. If you like content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and make sure you turn on the bell notification because I will constantly come out with updates about how to build your YouTube channel. And on top of that, the main purpose of this channel is for reviews of crypto and tech related items. So if that's up your alley, make sure you subscribe as well. Last but not least, thanks for watching to the end. My name's Chris with Committed 3D Tech, and we'll catch you on the next video.